Hey everyone, welcome back to the Tucson Bicycle Classic. This is footage from stage 3, the last day of the race. It was a circuit race. We were racing for like an hour and 20 minutes, which was 9 laps of this course. The situation is we've got my teammate Cam in the overall GC lead after his great performance the day before, but it's a slim 3-second lead over second place and like 15 seconds or so back to third. So the time bonuses available during the stage put those two guys within reach. The two intermediate sprints are worth 3 seconds each for winning, and then the final sprint is worth 10 seconds. And so this guy, 325 right here, I was intentionally on his wheel. I found him coming into the sprint lap. We have the next time we come through, the start finish is a sprint. And so it's an interesting tactic here. He had a few teammates, but he decided to send it solo. These are like over 4-mile laps, so this isn't like a crit. This is a proper circuit race. But anyways, he decides to send it solo here. I'm all over his back wheel. My goal right now is to try and make sure that he doesn't get any bonus seconds. So I'm gonna just follow him and come around him at the line if I need to, if there's not already 3 people in front of him. But he's kind of making my job easy here. He lets me just sit on his wheel, and he puts a lot of energy into the first part of this lap. We didn't get any sort of separation from the field at all. They're all just on my wheel. You can see there they all go. Now we get shuffled back a little bit. I don't know, good little warm-up for the sprint maybe. He used the same tactic again for the second intermediate sprint where he attacked coming into one to go. It's kind of questionable both times, but I'm not going to complain about it. It's good for our team. So there's some more people sending attacks, trying to string it out a little bit. The course was not very technical. You can see it's just 4 corners really. That chicane was pretty rolling and smooth. Yeah, he's back to the front again here. He's just getting after it. You definitely wanted to be the first couple wheels into the last corner because it was maybe 300 meters out of the corner, and it's like slightly downhill, and the corner was also a little bit tight. So if you got to take it in the first few wheels, you got to take it really fast and smooth. But I don't think you wanted to be in the wind this far out. So that's the second to last corner. Now we're going on the little downhill side here, and this little chicane we're coming up to. The middle of it is like this little tiny kicker. There wasn't much elevation to speak of on the course. It's all like very gradual. That's kind of how all the elevation was all weekend. But anyways, we're coming up over this little kicker. I got separated from 325, the guy who I was following. But I can still see him ahead of me, and like my chances here. The inside's still pretty open, so I'm feeling confident coming down the inside towards this last corner. And I feel like I'm right where I need to be in the top 3 on this sprint. This last corner looked a lot spookier beforehand than it actually was. They put up some hay bales on the outside too, which I feel like always gets in people's head maybe a little bit. But it really ended up being not that bad of a corner. We got to use like the turning lane as well, so it wasn't just the right lane, so we had a lot more room. You'll see as we're coming through it now. So I took the inside line there. Big spike. I'm kind of far back to win, but I'm just making sure that I can come around this guy right here in case I need to. But he's not getting up for a top 3, so I don't bother opening up the sprint. Because there's already 3 guys in front of him. So nobody dangerous took any time on this sprint, so that was step 1 checked off. Field still is together. This is skipping ahead towards the second sprint. This one, I got caught a little bit far back. Not really sure what I was doing. Our field got neutralized and they had us stop. I think that kind of threw everybody off, myself included. But this was maybe, I think, the second time through after we stopped by the finish. we were sprinting. But I was still able to make up a lot of spots coming on this outside line. And there's a lot of guys in front of me, but they're all the way across the road, so like we're not going that fast. So it's just trying to carry as much speed as I could through the corner. I feel like I did a decent job, and I was able to get on the gas quick. And there's a gap on the right side that I go over to, and I was like head down sprinting like this was the end of the race. And so I end up getting all the way up to third or fourth, maybe fourth, I think. But important thing was we got 3 guys in front of the main GC threat there, so none of the 2 guys that were within reach of my teammate Cam got any bonus seconds. So mission accomplished on the intermediate sprints. And so now this is fast forward ahead coming into the finale, last couple corners. To this point we had a couple teammates involved with crashes who mostly just scraped up, but Cam is still in this group, as are the other 2 GC guys, and nobody is taking control of the field here. It's all the way across the road, and like I knew I needed to move up to do anything in the sprint, but there was just like nowhere to go. Like every gap you thought you could poke your head into, there was just no room. And that's kind of a byproduct of when you have a 110 person field and you only get the 1 lane. And on this little uphill here, you can hear it in the background. There's going to be a crash that's like just off to my right, and it looked like he went down pretty hard, and caught up a bunch of people behind him, and yeah, right there you see the move on the right. It was inside of 3K, so everybody involved with that got their GC time, which ended up being a good thing for us because it helped Cam stay in the lead. But I just don't take that inside. I should have been more assertive going up the inside there, but I decided to not be. And as we were coming down this hill, I don't know, I was not feeling very trusting of the guys around me after the way the race had gone so far, and was kind of feeling like it wasn't worth doing something risky on this last corner, as I had to get on an airplane a few hours after this. And so you see I kind of back out there coming into this corner, which ends up being an alright move. None of the GC guys ended up getting in the top 3. I think there were a lot of people who hadn't like had the races go for how they had imagined they would this weekend to this point, and so a lot of people were putting a lot of eggs into the finish basket. It seemed like there were 5 people across the road. There was a lot of big sprinter guys who came out for the finish on this one who hadn't made much of an impact prior in the race, and so made it across the line safely. Teammate Cam, who's in the GC lead, got caught up in the crash, but the 3K rule, he ended up finishing on the same time, so took home the Cat 2 GC win, which is pretty exciting. So thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back to more crits after this, I promise. That's enough road racing for me for a while. Thanks.